Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Checking the Pulse for Rescue Nation, brought to you by X-Cancer. Check them out at xcancer.com. Right off the top, ladies and gentlemen, I feel refreshed after the bye week, man. A lot of shows coming out, a lot of things going on. I look forward to a day when I'm talking about a lot of consistently positive things with Nebraska football. I have no doubt that day will come. But I feel refreshed after the bye week. All right, and I'm ready to light this candle. Here are my top 3 takeaways from Mickey Joseph's press conference that just took place. And do me a favor, before I light this candle, I'm talking about top 3 takeaways, smash that like button. If you want to support this fine program, I'd surely appreciate it. All right, my number 1 takeaway. Mickey Joseph talked about getting into Big Ten play. Now, they did play Northwestern already, but getting back into Big Ten play feels like a fresh start, a new beginning for them. And he also talked about how he thought it was really important to beat Indiana to build confidence. To show the kids that they could start and they could finish something. And I agree with him. I feel like it can be a fresh start. Maybe you can build some momentum. And getting a win versus Indiana does seem pretty important to me as well. Number 2, Indiana's a fast-paced, up-tempo offense. They ran 104 plays last weekend versus Cincinnati. So he was asked several times how you can combat the high up-tempo, trying to get you on your heels offense that Indiana is going to bring in. Well, they've got less calls on defense, less adjustments. In fact, they got some calls that one word literally tells you the whole defense. It tells you the defensive front. It tells you the coverage in the secondary. So he's really trying to simplify the defense. And he even talked about, because he was asked again, how has the defense improved, how they've been doing, have they bought into what Bill Busch is doing? He said, yes, and I quote, they've bought in, end quote, and they're flying around, and they have improved, okay? Obviously, we'll see how much, and maybe it's a little, maybe it's a medium, maybe it's a lot. Who knows, okay? But that stood out to me as well. Fresh start, building confidence versus Indiana was first. Number 2, the defense. How much have they improved? How much are they flying around? How much are they going to tackle better? And how are they going to handle that high up-tempo Indiana offense? And he addressed all those things with the answers that I just gave. The third thing that stood out to me, and I actually have a bonus one for you here in a second, but the third thing, we talked about third downs. Because he talked about how continuing drives, converting on third down is key to continuing drives and scoring points. And so I actually looked up some real simple stats. The first 3 games, all right, Nebraska was 24-40 on converting third downs. That's 60%. That's pretty good. They also averaged 36 points per game. The last game versus Oklahoma, okay, and Oklahoma can be scored upon. Kansas State and Adrian Martinez just showed that, okay, so they're a good defense, but they're not like, the frickin' Ravens or Steelers or Giants or something like back when the Giants were good. Anyways, I digress. In the last game versus Oklahoma, Nebraska was 6 of 17 on third downs. That's a 35% conversion rate. We also scored 14 points. Okay, so there is absolutely a connection to converting third downs, continuing the drives, and putting points on the scoreboard. Seems like an easy connection to make. Also, we were 0 of 2 in fourth downs in our last game versus Oklahoma as well. So those are my top 3 takeaways, with the third downs being that third takeaway that I've got. Now, I had one bonus, and that is that I've noticed that players are back at press conferences. Now, I don't know if anybody else noticed this. I don't know if anybody else cares, but being a former player myself, it sticks out to me a little bit, and maybe it's nothing. But to me, when you're circling the wagons as a team and you're not allowed to talk to the media, or the media is not allowed to talk to you, a lot of times that can ignite something and get something going when you're circling the wagons as a team. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I look at the Oklahoma game. It was all very rushed, kind of thrown into the fire, didn't go great. But it shows me 2 weeks later, okay, Mickey being 2 weeks into his interim head coach stint, he's allowing players to talk to the media. To me, that shows he's got more confidence. It shows he's got more confidence in what they're going to say, because obviously he hadn't been pleased with some things that have been said. But it also is like a parent, when as a kid gets older, they start to show more and more trust in the kid, and the kid can gain more and more confidence, like we're getting back into a normal routine as a football team. Sometimes kids, as they get older, they get in trouble. But I digress. To me, maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing. Players being at these press conferences, it just stuck out to me just a little bit. And Mickey did have a statement, and I'm a big wrestling fan, so I'm going to use a wrestling term. He had a statement that I popped for. I wrote it down here. What did he say? He goes, I don't really enjoy doing these. Talking about the press conferences, talking to the media. As a former player who did not like talking to the media, I popped for that. Now I'm on the other. I've been on both sides of the mic. I'm fortunate in that. And now that I'm on this side, I popped, remembering my days on the other side. And if you're one of those folks who got offended in the past when I talked about how I didn't like or trust the media, my advice would be come talk to me. Don't just get offended. Come talk to me and educate. Yeah, I said educate yourself on why. It might help you do your job a little bit better. Nowadays, just a thought. It's neither here nor there. I got some questions for you fine folks at home. Do you believe the players have bought in? Okay. Will we see a difference, whether it's small, medium, large? Okay, will we see a difference on Saturday in how the team performs specifically on defense? Also, how important to you is a win versus Indiana this Saturday? How much will it impact the rest of Nebraska's football season? All right, until next time, Husker Nation, go big red, and always remember, throw the bug. This show is brought to you by X-Cancer. Join the fight at xcancerstore.com and support your loved ones, your neighbors, and cancer fighters all over the world and help them gain access to revolutionary treatments. xcancerstore.com has a wide variety of t-shirts and merchandise supporting a wide variety of cancer battles so you can show off the colors that matter. Proceeds from each purchase not only help those at home, but also cancer fighters in Tanzania, Africa. Check them out at xcancerstore.com.